Typology and Enneagram and all of that, it's not about fiction. It's about people. It's people's personalities. What's good, you guys? So today I want to talk about how media, like fictional characters and such, create false stereotypes, narratives, and perspectives of different Enneagram types, and how this will lead to confusion. And it's a common occurrence in typology community for people to be obsessed about media, fictional characters, cinema, whatever it is. And cinema is great. I love cinema myself, right? Watched more than 1,000 movies in my lifetime. I love it. But it seems to me nowadays that it's media that determines the manifestation of a type. People's ideas about the types become derived from media, from fictional characters, from anime. People primarily using fictional characters to prove a point. And I know what you might be thinking. Well, Rust, you did the same shit. You're right. I indeed did. But that's not the point. When it comes to actual learning curve of typology, of Enneagram, of actual application of the theory, of the things you read, you cannot use media and fictional characters as a medium for that. If a combination exists, if it doesn't exist, the validity of a combination, forget about all that. That's just not gonna happen in media. That's not gonna happen in fiction. It should never be used as an argumentation whatsoever. With those fictional characters, there's a bit of a problem. Because the truth is, it does not obey by the same laws you and I do. The way we operate. You can make it's up to you how you write a character. You can make a character so contradictory that, to be honest, he's not gonna fit well in any system. It happens. We know that there are characters who even might be typed as something, yet they're considered to be dogshit examples of that. And I'm gonna give you one example. So Dr. House has been typed as a social one. As a social one by Naranjo's team or Naranjo himself, whoever. But by that, right? Now, no one looking at House will think that's a one core. It's not gonna happen. No one's gonna think, wow, he's a great example. Let me use him to prove a point about the social one. You will not do that, because if you do, you're not actually showing how the type manifests. It's a bullshit example. It's not to say he might not be that example. Maybe that's the best we can do. Maybe the social one is the best we can do for Dr. House, right? But it's not good, regardless. And that's the thing. Some characters can't even be typed. Some characters are so contradictory, there's no type. It's like they're fucking nothing. On the other hand, we also have examples that not only show the passion of a type, right, the fixation well, they also show behavioral characteristics. They show all of the nuances, the details of a type, of a subtype. It does happen. There are some that are really good examples that if you really, especially if they're more in a more grounded setting, there's no issue in trying to kind of see that and see value within that. But media examples are exaggerated. They're fiction. Look at the shit that happens in The Boys. There's people flying. They don't work. They don't have a job. They don't need to even think about money or surviving like this. They just do their own shit. They don't have any to give, right? Billy Butcher beating up soups and shit. This is not reality. Now your life as a average, right, typology lover, you're an NPC. Compared to that shit that happens in fiction, you're just a boring NPC who has to do chores and has to go to work and has to have a life. That's the thing. So you're trying to not only understand the character from that hyper exaggerated caricature way, but also apply it to yourself, and then you're wondering why none of that shit even makes sense. And most typology people, they don't give a about actual like reality. They don't care. They don't give a reality. Who gives a reality? I'm here to jack off. I'm here to circle jerk on the daily of the theory. I don't give a shit about reality. It's boring. Let me focus on my anime. Let me focus on my movies and stuff like that. They form those opinions about types from watching anime and then gathering, oh, so this is how it looks. Yeah, he's this type. He's that. He's a great example of that type. How many of us have used sexual late Tuco Salamanca as a great example, right? And we're talking about such a crazy caricature here. A psycho drug addict, right? Who's fucking high as a kite and just acts so over the top, it makes no sense. Now, you'll say, well, people like that exist in real life. They do exist in real life. But how the fuck are you gonna use that example to showcase the average manifestation of that type? That's your average? Or that's like the most extreme, deranged an example. Like, what are we doing? Are we asking for the most deranged examples? Or are we asking for the most realistic, the average examples? Because I'm kind of confused here. There's a spectrum. On the other side, we have a more grounded, more realistic portrayal. Someone like Paddy from Speak No Evil, who shows many of the temperamental traits, the behavioral traits of the subtype very well. So not only he fits the passion and lust well, but he fits all of the other stuff, the more details. And it's not exaggerated. Obviously, if you remove the butchering and kidnapping, that it's very grounded and very realistic.
So all this perfect life, Instagram, Facebook, bullshit. Everybody talking, but nobody being honest, it's left us impatient. This in here, that's gonna eat you alive. You gotta let it out.
So even within media, even within characters, you're dealing with bad, good. We're dealing with very grounded, very detached, very deranged, very realistic, very average or very extreme. It's up to you, but the scale and the spectrum is big. Now, ideally, when it comes to a true understanding, right? Like kind of what you should do step by step is definitely, obviously, read the source material and then look at real life application. That's the number one go-to. That's what you should do. Read the material, focus on that application, right? Look at the people that Naranjo himself has typed because he used them as examples. Look at that. Try to understand it for theory and try to adapt it to real life. Can you find those people? Maybe can you find some examples in real life? Okay, gather them, learn about them, look at the nuances, look at the patterns, look at the behaviors, draw out the patterns yourself so you can understand it on a deeper level. Once you have a great understanding within the real world, which is, by the way, how their personality manifests, okay? Because, guys, typology and Enneagram and all of that, it's not about fiction. It's about people. It's people's personalities. It's not fictional characters' personalities. After you grasp all of this, then you can have some fun with fictional characters. You can use some of them. The community is polluted by it, and it's hard for people to snap out of it. Obviously, my own type has suffered the same fate. Someone uses the brain, oh, that's AIDS. I don't know AIDS that way. They're monkeys. Yet, Naranjo used examples of people who were artists, right? With great intellect, where they traditionally geeks who just want to sit and theorize about shit, not necessarily, okay? But they were still, in many ways, intellectually curious, deep people. But you don't see that, because no one gives a fuck about that.
That isn't what violence is all about. Violence is painful, it's full of blood, it hurts people, it kills people, and I think when you lie about it, when you pretty it up, you lead people to believe that it's possible to go around shooting each other and punching each other and stabbing each other with impunity. And my stories are intended to have a very pronounced emotional effect on people.
This person is an X, Y, and Z type because of my own anime understanding.
What I want is for the work to go at them and savage them. I want my work to come at them and attack them. I want my work to leave them with some feeling that they have been through an experience. That's what I want. People come up to me and they say, sign my book. I'd buy all your books. I said, well, then you got all my books, don't you?
When I'm trying to portray something to a person, I would rather it be realistic. If I'm going to use a fictional example, I would want it to be realistic. Remember, typology is about people. Typology is about real personalities. It's not about fiction. I'm out, I'm Chowers, and I'm bouncing.